What's up, everybody? It's your man right here, the one and only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, one of the original road warlords. And as always, bring you the knowledge and drop the science in this industry of what we call trucking, okay? I'm doing this particular video to speak on such organizations as the ATA and the Trucker Alliance, and how I think that it's very unfair that these trucking companies are able to talk to the FMCSA and other rule and lawmaking officials as to what things need to be imposed in the trucking community, in the trucking industry, when at the same time the challenge was made that, okay, do something about your trucking company first and stuff as far as accidents are concerned, you know, because when you do an overall analysis about the industry, when you talk about trucking accidents, you see these companies right here consist of the major accidents that happen out here in the industry, you know, whether it's killing people, you know, fatalities, whether it's putting small fleet guys out of business, you know, whether it's running into their truck, so on and so forth. I issued the challenge and stuff to Swift, and now I see that there are many others that are now being very vocal about some of the problems and stuff that face the country overall. But I don't think that this particular thing here is affecting the trucking industry overall, because again, these guys that make up the Trucker Alliance have new equipment. They have some of the up-to-date technology as far as it's dealing with safety, but at the same time, they consist of 80% of the accidents that happen out here in the industry. Newer trucks, new equipment, you know, up-to-date technology. A lot of them were on ELDs long before the mandate came into existence, and yet they consist of 80% of the accidents that happen out here in the industry. This is not talk. This is not talk. This is not slander. Only thing you have to do is just go up to any social media page and stuff, upload the trucking company that's in, you know, that spoke of, and you'll see that it's synonymous with accidents. Okay. Now, their latest attempt is to talk to the FMCSA as to make new changes inside the FMCSA because of opioids. Because of opioids and the new drug testing policy and stuff, where they're talking about they're able to detect those that use opioids in follicle testing as opposed to urinalysis testing. Okay, now these guys right here just got done speaking to the UN and stuff, and as you can see, this article is in the Trucker newspaper. This is the free publication that is in most TA truck stops. It's free publication. I urge people to pick it up. This is the May 15th through 31st edition, even though I know we are in June. All right. This article is on page 4. Let's read. Trucker Alliance promotes hair testing law to catch opioid abusers. Say it's much more effective than urine samples. Okay. Washington, D.C., the Alliance of Driver Safety and Security, also known as the Trucker Alliance, is promoting a new drug testing law that requires all applicants for safety-sensitive jobs in the U.S. trucking industry to verify no opioid addiction or illegal drug use for at least 30 days prior to obtaining employment. The Trucker Alliance announced its drug testing initiative at the United Nations as part of the event titled "The Use of Technology to Promote Road Safety, the Brazilian Experience." Brazil requires all commercial truck drivers to pass a hair test before renewing their license. More than 1 million Brazilian drivers have either failed the hair test or refused to renew their license since the law took effect 2 years ago. Okay, the next paragraph and stuff gives the website and stuff, so you know I'm not gonna go into that. We go on to see current federal drug testing rules for truck drivers are failing, said Lane Kidd, manager director of the Alliance. He told UN attendees at the 2017 that J.B. Hunt Transport identified 1,213 people who test positive on their pre-employment hair test, yet 1,130 of those applicants, or 93%, passed the urinalysis. Clearly, the United States Department of Transportation drug test statistics gave a false picture because we are using an inadequate test and missing lifestyle drug users and opioid addicts. And that's a national problem for our industry, Kid said. We have an opioid problem in our nation, and from my experience, we have one in our industry too, said Dean Newell, Vice President of Safety and Driver Training at Maverick USA, headquarters in Little Rock, Arkansas. Newell also represents the Trucker Alliance as a speaker during the UN meeting. We, Maverick, started testing for opioids in 2014, and we've seen a steady increase in opioid addiction every year. Opioids stay in a person's system for a few hours, allowing the opioid abusers to abstain from the drug briefly before submitting to a current pre-employment drug test. However, a hair exam will detect drug use for up to 90 days, according to the Alliance news release. Opioids subject to drug abuse in the trucking industry includes, then, you know, it gives a list of all the drugs and stuff and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go into detail with that. All right. It reads on and said that, but currently drug test methods miss these and other illegal drugs unless the applicant has taken them within hours of collection. We hope that Congress will follow the Brazil leadership and require a drug test that provides a job applicant has not taken illegal drugs or abused opioids for at least 30 days before applying for employment, Kid says. He also said Congress should apply the requirement to all truck drivers before they renew their license, as does Brazil. Too many loopholes around truck drivers to avoid drug tests, even after drivers have involved in serious large trucking accidents. Newell shared Maverick's experience. The current regulations are not capturing lifestyle drug users. We have had 154 drivers at Maverick who failed their hair test after they passed the urine test. Those 154 drivers are working for another company, Newell said. They're running up and down the roads with our families. That is not acceptable. Kid added that since 2006, JB Hunt Transport has refused to employ 5,060 job applicants who failed the hair test, even after passing the urinalysis. Most of these applicants found jobs at other trucking companies, and because they only utilize the federal required urinalysis, apply these companies' experiences to the number of truck driver jobs applied applicants industry-wide and across the United States. We have a major problem, Kid says. Hair testing will save lives, and hair testing will save lives, and hair testing is the right thing to do, Newell said. Maverick wants to make sure that the company is the safest it can be, and that all drivers are well trained and drug free. We have a moral obligation to our employees, but we also have a moral obligation to the public. The Alliance supports policy reform to improve the safety and security of commercial drivers and to reduce large truck accidents. Crashes. Member carriers are Cargo Transport, Dupree Logistics, JB Hunt Transport, KLLM Transport, Knight Swift Transport, Maverick USA, and US Express. Collectively, these companies employ 80,200 professionals in 50 states and operate 71,000 trucks and 220,000 trailers, intermobile containers to provide transportation and logistics solutions. All right, you just read it there, right there on page 4 and stuff, where they're talking about opioids is now the cause and problem as to what's happening out here in the trucking industry. Like I said, I just explained that these companies right here have new equipment. They have up-to-date technology. They have safety personnel and stuff. They have all this training, but yet every time there is an accident/fatality in the trucking industry, they consist of 80% of those accidents. But yet their drivers are tested for opioids and stuff, so they're not high on opioids. They pass the urinalysis. They have all this safety equipment, all this high technology, but yet every time you pull up one of these trucking companies and stuff, is always synonymous with an accident/fatality. One of these companies just had an issue where they paid out over $50 million because of an accident. I'm not gonna name which one and stuff, you know. But the thing is that if they reach out to me and stuff, and like I said, I challenge them to prove that the opioids and stuff, man, it's the problem. Because you don't hire people and stuff that use opioids. You don't hire people that fail drug tests, but yet you consist of 80% of accidents out here. You are creating an alliance of driver safety and security. And you're sitting amongst the FMCSA, amongst the UN Council, and trying to produce a new policy that's supposed to be helping the trucking industry, but yet you can't do anything about your very truck company yourself as far as accidents are concerned. How do you do that? How? So I issued a challenge and stuff, not only to just Swift. I issued a challenge to KLLM. I issued a challenge to JB Hunt. I issued a challenge to US Express. You shouldn't have no accidents whatsoever, period. I'm not saying to go 1 month. You got to go now the entire time that you operate now. Because see, you have alliances and stuff there. You're going up here to UN councils and other safety and rule regulation, councils, and trying to push something when it's not the problem. Do something about your company first before you start going out here and suggesting anything to anybody. You know, you can speak, right? But you're not really speaking intelligently when, again, your company reflects a lot of the accidents / fatalities that are going on out here in the industry. We understand about opioid use, drug abusers and stuff and so on and so forth. But the thing is, what we need to be talking about is why is it that you guys keep having all these accidents? We got the blitz that's coming up this week, June 5th through the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be Tuesday through Thursday. But you know, I say I add Friday in there too and stuff. And so I challenge the drivers and stuff out here. Look at the roadside inspections and stuff and see who's being pulled over. See who's being pulled over. Because again, you see that a lot of the accidents consist of these very companies that make up this so-called safety alliance and stuff. But yet at the same time, how many of them are going to be inspected? How many of them are going to get roadside inspections and so on and so forth? When is there going to be any intervention by the FMCSA to go inside these companies and demand that these accidents / fatalities stop? Because you are sitting at the head of these councils and stuff and trying to produce new laws, new regulations, but yet you're not doing anything about your company overall. That's the thing right there. That's the challenge that I issue out to these trucking companies and stuff in question, and also to the FMCSA to demand that intervention goes inside these companies and demand that changes be made, because they are not hiring people that are high on drugs, they are using opioids and stuff. They have state-of-the-art technology and equipment. They have all these safety groups and organizations, but yet they're not doing anything and stuff to cut down on the crashes that happen here in this state and abroad. So with that being said, this your man right here, the one and only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, telling you as always, continue to do your research, fact finding studies, harness on your skills every day. Feel free to hit me up. My contact information is up there on the page. I say that if you do speak about it, if you do talk to me, let it be about the industry, and I'll help you out as much as possible. Also, hit me up on my Facebook page, which is Red Rooster, red like the color, rooster like the bird. Send that friend request and I'll send it back. I'll go ahead and accept you, because I have trucking content up there as well. And I'll end on that note. So till next time, be safe, be easy, and peace out.